In spring 1981, anger erupted on the streets of London. The capital had not seen this level of violence for more than a century.
How long can you suppress a feeling? Right? How long can you suppress a feeling, man?
The police lost control. Hundreds of officers were injured. Fighting, looting and burning filled Brixton streets.
That was the mood of everybody. Kill or be killed.
This is the story of why more than 1,000 Londoners declared war on the police.
They couldn't care what injuries they caused, or even if they killed people. That was quite obvious.
They were the enemy. Simple as that.
Brixton is a warning of what can happen when a community feels targeted because of its culture or the colour of its skin.
Nothing but nothing justifies what happened on Saturday night, and I cannot condemn it too strongly.
It was a very good atmosphere before the problem. Very good atmosphere.
By the 1980s, Brixton, one of the most deprived corners of South London, was the undisputed capital of Black Britain.
Brixton was a great place, you know. Everything that one needed was there.
Because there was green banana, yam, sweet potato, breadfruit, and corn, and mangoes, and, you know, all these things that drip you out water. You know, you could get them sugar cane and all these things.
But now a second generation of young black people were growing up in Britain and expecting more from the country which was supposed to be their home, but where some politicians were prepared to play the race card.
People are really rather afraid that this country might be rather swamped by people with a different culture.
In 1981, 2 years into Margaret Thatcher's first government, race relations were at a crossroads.
We now had on our hands a generation of young black people who were British and who were not prepared to be as grateful, shall we say, as their parents for the new life that we had afforded them.
As mass unemployment hit the black community hardest, 1 in every 2 black youths was left out of work.
We had a feeling that we just weren't wanted in this country. Weren't wanted, that we were despised.
In January 1981, bitterness intensified when 13 black youngsters were burnt to death at a party in New Cross in southeast London. 3 months later, the failure to charge anyone for what the black community was convinced was a racist attack seemed a betrayal by the police.
We felt the police just didn't care. There was tensions already between us growing at the time, and that just pushed us further apart more than ever.
You know, when I came to this country, I was told, if you get lost, or if you have any problem, just go to a policeman.
Oh, yes, we were told that.
You know, you would not ask anybody directions. You would go to a policeman because you see them as nice people.
But by 1981, the relationship between police and the young black men growing up in areas like Brixton had degenerated to a point of no return.
I'm in the underground, and I'm in Oxford Circus, changing tubes to come to Brixton. And that's when I first noticed these couple of men. They grabbed me. Excuse me, I'm arresting you for suspicion of pickpocketing from persons unknown. And I'm thinking, me no pickpocket, me a Rasta.
Almost every young black man in Brixton had a story to tell about police harassment or brutality.
I remember getting on a bus one time from Brixton going to Clapham, and they came on the bus and said I was nicking a purse, took me off the bus, couldn't find nothing on me, they just gave me a good kicking and sent me away. You know, what could you do? There's like 5, 6 police and just you as a little black kid. They didn't arrest no one, they just beat us up and left us there.
I didn't join the police as a racist, but whilst I was in the police, I became one. We just went out and made a beeline for whosoever we wanted to arrest. So you'd say you'd seen them try 2 or 3 car door handles. You'd seen them sizing someone up at a bus stop, and you'd see them put their hand towards a lady's handbag. People had no chance of proving their innocence. Evidence was planted, that was a common practice, and assaulting people was almost a daily occurrence.
They used to raid dances. I was in one particular dance where they battered down the door, beat up women, beat up men. There was countless police vans outside on Elm Park that night. And I was one of those, in one of the police vans, taken back to Brixton police station. My face pressed down to the floor. There was a boot upon my neck, upon my back, and then we were dragged out to the police cells. Sitting in that cell and hearing the screams of the older guys along the cell corridor, it was just frightening, frightening. So that's when I realised that these stories weren't extravagances. It was actually happening.
We were the occupying army, if you like, and thinking of the people of Brixton as the enemy, that there wasn't a good person amongst them, that they were all criminals, that blackness equated with criminality.
Despite the close attentions of Brixton's police, there was one place where young black men did feel safe. Railton Road, in the heart of Brixton, was known locally as the front line.
It was the only place that you felt really comfortable, that the police wouldn't just always be able to grab you.
From this cruel world, we could go there and just be with our kin. We felt it belonged to the West Indian community.
Everyone gathered on the front line. They had pool places, they had gambling houses. It was just like a little activity place.
It was a hub of activity down there. It was just always something going on the front line, always.
It was the place to be seen, the place where DJs practiced their rhymes, the place where you scored weed.
I made my livelihood from there. That was all that was in my head. Be on the front line and sell some dope, basically.
But with its mix of drugs, illegal drinking clubs and blues parties, Railton Road was on the front line of the war on crime for Brixton's police.
It was a place where young blacks, muggers or thieves or whatever congregated. A place where the police and the blacks were staring at each other.
The crucial issue for the police in Brixton was street crime. There was twice as many muggings here as anywhere else in London. As far as Brixton's commander was concerned, the reason was simple.
Is this racial crime? Is this black youths picking on old white ladies, or is it everyone being attacked?
I think you'll find that a large, very large proportion of this type of crime is committed by black youths.
It's like you see the cloud and you feel, well, oh, it's going to rain because the cloud is dark.
In the days before?
Yeah, in the days before, yes, yes.
In April 1981, the police claimed crime in Brixton had reached a crisis point, with muggings going up nearly 4 times faster than in any other borough.
Under the surface, there was always a fire smouldering, and it just needed something else to set it off.
Brixton's police were about to provide that something. On April the 6th, they launched an undercover operation codenamed Swamp 81.